Nothing could be further from the truth. Slavery didn't destroy the black family. Do you know that we were still getting married through slavery? Jumping the broom in secret, even under punishment of death. We were married during Reconstruction. We were married during civil rights. When do you begin to see the rise of the single-parented black female household? 1970. After they killed Dr. King, the United States government said we must neutralize the black power base. And they determined that the black power base was the black family. It was independent black skilled men and women who financed King, financed Mr. Garvey, financed Mr. Muhammad, financed SNCC and CORE, the Freedom Riders and the sit-in movement. So they said, if we want to crush the black struggle, we got to crush the black family. So guess what they did in 1970? King dies in 68. In 1970, they came into the black communities and de-industrialized our city centers. In 1970, they started shutting down the factories. Remember, up until the 50s and 60s, you didn't need a college degree to get a decent job. Many of us got grandparents who worked in factories their whole life and lived better lives than we're living now with 2 and 3 degrees. They could work in their same neighborhood and everybody worked for the factory. Good retirement, pension, benefits, medical. They started shutting down the factories in 1970 and then they went into the high schools and did what? Started deindustrializing the inner city high schools. Up until 1970, you could graduate from almost any school in New York certified as a plumber, certified as an electrician, certified as a carpenter, auto body, brick mason, a welder. They took all those programs out. These are the skills that pays the bills, gentlemen. As long as you have a skill, you can always feed your family. But if all you got is college degrees, you might end up in the unemployment line. Why? Because the skills that we learn in college are not necessarily marketable to other black people. I'm a psychologist. Ain't too many black people running around looking for a psychologist to reveal all the skeletons in their closet.
Yeah, you rather talk to a white
Exactly.
person.
So they started sending us to college instead of teaching us how to work with our hands. That was the 70s. That was the economic castration of the black male. Now let's go to 1980. The CIA comes in, cocaine import agency. They drop off crack. So now the unemployed black man who has always been a breadwinner, Envy, even in slavery, we were always the breadwinner. Up until 1970. Now the crack comes. You got a decision. I can sell this crack and try to put some food on the table, or I can smoke it to deal with the fact that I'm no longer economically relevant to the black woman.
Deal with that
and
trauma.
let's be clear. The decade of the 70s was the decade of making the black man economically irrelevant to the black woman. We're the only man in America who is out-earned and out-educated by our mates. No other woman in America out-earns and out-educates their mates. And this is not the black woman's problem. I want to be clear. This was systematically done to make us irrelevant to our families. Then the 1990s come, Bill Clinton crime bill, 3 strikes and you out, mandatory minimum wages, the Bill Clinton crime bill. Now all those unemployed black men who got caught smoking crack or selling crack now being sent off to jail. And then they also give us the ADHD so that we could dope the kids up with the same medicine that sent the father to jail. Then the year 2000 come, George Bush hits us with the what? Faith-based initiative. He finds a loophole in federal law that allows you to finance churches. So now the mega churches and the medium-sized churches in the black community, Charlemagne, are being financed by the government. You think it's a coincidence, Envy, that you don't see no major churches involved in the miseducation movement? No major churches involved in the mass incarceration movement? No major churches involved in police genocide?
Yeah.
No major churches involved in poverty? Where is the black church in 2017 when it comes to black people issues? They're missing in action because they're being paid by the government to stay out of the struggle. And that's why it's called faith-based initiative. Your pastor is the new FBI agent.
Wow. Well, where you gonna tell me you gonna be tonight?
Bro, I'm trying to told your ass, man. Hey, they ain't playing with you, bro. Hey, newsflash, they ain't playing fair, boy. I'm trying to tell you the affirmation's real. When I woke up this morning with the greatest feels, heard the news with no cable still, heard the NFL, they done made a deal. You niggas can't take a kneel, boy. Ooh, tell me how that make you feel. Now let me see how many of y'all still take the field like they go 1, 3, 5, 7, 11, too many. Woo! Too many. Stop playing with them. Here's my 2 pennies. Just look around. You bring the crowds. They buy your jerseys. They yell out loud. They make the billions while you run around with handcuffs on your wrist and duct tape on your mouth. Sit your ass down, nigga. Hey, I hope what I'm saying go to your brand without you playing. There is no game, nothing to gain. You have a choice. Something like, yay, make a real change. Don't be a new slave, yeah. Hey.
Albert Einstein once said, everybody's a genius
But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, today on trial we have modern day schooling. Glad you could come. Not only does he make fish climb trees, but also makes them climb down and do a 10-mile run. Tell me, school, are you proud of the things you've done? Turning millions of people into robots, do you find that fun? Do you realize how many kids relate to that fish? Swimming upstream in class, never finding their gifts, thinking they are stupid, believing they are useless? Well, the time has come, no more excuses. I call school to the stand and accuse him of killing creativity, individuality, and being intellectually abusive. He's an ancient institution that has outlived his usage. So, Your Honor, this concludes my opening statement, and if I may present the evidence of my case, I will prove it.
Proceed.
Exhibit A. Here's a modern day phone. Recognize it? Here's a phone from 150 years ago. Big difference, right? Stay with me. Here's a car from today, and here's a car from 150 years ago. Big difference, right? Well, get this. Here's a classroom of today, and here's a class we used 150 years ago. Now, ain't that a shame? In literally more than a century, nothing has changed. Yet you claim to prepare students for the future? But with evidence like that, I must ask, do you prepare students for the future or the past? I did a background check on you and let the record show that you were made to train people to work in factories, which explains why you put students in straight rows, nice and neat, tell them sit still, raise your hand if you want to speak, give them a short break to eat, and for 8 hours a day tell them what to think. Oh, and make them compete to get an A letter which determines product quality, hence grade A of meat. I get it. Back then, times were different. We all have a past. I myself am no Gandhi. But today, we don't need to make robot zombies. The world has progressed. And now we need people who think creatively, innovatively, critically, independently, with the ability to connect. See, every scientist will tell you that no two brains are the same. And every parent with 2 or more children will confirm that claim. So please explain why you treat students like cookie cutter frames or snapback hats, giving them this one-size-fits-all crap.
Watch your language.
Sorry, Your Honor, but if a doctor prescribed the exact same medicine to all of his patients, the results will be tragic. So many people would get sick, yet when it comes to school, this is exactly what happens. This educational malpractice, where one teacher stands in front of 20 kids, each one having different strengths, different needs, different gifts, different dreams, and you teach the same thing the same way? That's horrific. Ladies and gentlemen, the defendant should not be acquitted. This may be one of the worst criminal offenses ever to be committed. And let's mention the way you treat your employees.
Objection. Overruled. I want to hear this.
It's a shame. I mean, teachers have the most important job on the planet, yet they're underpaid? No wonder so many students are short-changed. Let's be honest, teachers should earn just as much as doctors, because a doctor can do heart surgery and save the life of a kid, but a great teacher can reach the heart of that kid and allow him to truly live. See, teachers are heroes that often get blamed, but they're not the problem. They work in a system without many options or rights. Curriculums are created by policymakers, most of which have never taught a day in their life. Just obsessed with standardized tests. They think bubbling in a multiple choice question will determine success. That's outlandish. In fact, these tests are too cruel to be used and should be abandoned, but don't take my word for it. Take Frederick J. Kelly, the man who invented standardized testing, who said, and I quote, "These tests are too cruel to be used and should be abandoned." Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if we continue down this road, the results will be lethal. I don't have much faith in school, but I do have faith in people. And if we can customize healthcare, cars, and Facebook pages, then it is our duty to do the same for education, to upgrade it, change it, do away with school spirit, because that's useless. Unless we're working to bring the spirit out of each and every student, that should be our task. No more Common Core. Instead, let's reach the core of every heart in every class. Sure, math is important, but no more than art or dance. Let's give every gift an equal chance. I know this sounds like a dream, but countries like Finland are doing impressive things. They have shorter school days, teachers make a decent wage, homework is non-existent, and they focus on collaboration instead of competition. But here's the kicker, boys and girls. Their educational system outperforms every other country in the world. Other places like Singapore are succeeding rapidly. Schools like Montessori, programs like Khan Academy. There is no single solution, but let's get moving. Because while students may be 20% of our population, they are 100% of our future. So let's attend to their dreams, and there's no telling what we can achieve. This is a world in which I believe, a world where fish are no longer forced to climb trees. I'll rest my case.
Brought to you by GodIam.org.
Things are getting much better, but I always wondered when I went to church on Sundays. I've always been one to, I'm not just a boxer. I do a lot of reading, a lot of studying. I ask questions. I travel these countries. I watch how their people live, and I learn. And I always ask my mother, I said, Mother, how come is everything white? I said, why is Jesus white with blonde hair and blue eyes? Why is the Lord's Supper all white men? Angels are white, Pope and Mary and even the angels. I said, Mother, when we die, do we go to heaven? She said, naturally we go to heaven. I said, well, what happened to all the black angels when they took the pictures? said, oh, I know. If the white folks was in heaven too, then the black angels were in the kitchen preparing the milk and honey. I said, listen, you quit saying that, boy. I was always curious, and I always wondered why I had to die to go to heaven. Why I couldn't have pretty cars and good money and nice homes now? Why do I have to wait till I die to get milk and honey? And I said, Mama, I don't want no milk and honey. I like steaks and I said, milk and honey is a laxative anyway. Did they have a lot of bathrooms in heaven? So anyway, I was always curious. I always wondered why. You know, Tarzan is the king of the jungle in Africa. He was white. White man. I saw this white man swinging around Africa with a diaper on, hollering. Oh! Do you all see Tarzan over here?
Right.
Tarzan? And all the Africans, so he's beating them up and breaking the lion's jaw. And here's Tarzan talking to the animals, and the Africans been there for centuries, and he can't talk to the animals. Only Tarzan can talk to the animals. I always wondered why. Miss America was always white. All the beautiful brown women in America, beautiful suntans, beautiful shapes, all type complexions, but she always was white. And Miss World was always white. And Miss Universe was always white. And then they got some stuff called White House cigars, White Swan soap, King White soap, White Cloud tissue paper, White Rain hair rinse, White Tornado flow wax. Everything was white. And the angel food cake was the white cake, and the devil food cake was the chocolate cake. I said, Mama, why is everything white? I always wondered, you know, and the president lived in the White House. And Mary had a little lamb, and Speed is white as snow, and Snow White. And everything was white. Santa Claus was white. And everything bad was black. The little ugly duckling was a black duck, and the black cat was the bad luck. And if I threaten you, I'm going to blackmail you. I said, Mama, why don't they call it white mail? They lie too. I was always curious, and then this is when I knew something was wrong. Won the Olympic gold medal in Rome, Italy. Olympic champion, the Russian standing right here, and the Pole right here. Is Poland considered a communist country?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm defeating America's so-called threats or enemies. And the flag is going dun 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 dun. I'm standing so proud. Dun 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 dun. And I done whooped the world for America. Dun 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 dun. I took my gold medal, thought I'd invented something. I said, man, I know I'm going to get my people freedom there. I'm the champion of the whole world, the Olympic champion. I know I can eat downtown now. And I went downtown that day, had my big old medal on, and went in the restaurants. At that time, black things weren't integrated. The black folks couldn't eat downtown. And I went downtown, and I sat down, and I said, you know, a cup of coffee, hot dog. The lady said, we don't serve Negroes. I was so mad. I said, I don't eat them either. Just give me a couple of hamburgers. You know, I said, I'm the Olympic gold medal. 3 days ago, I fought for this country in Rome. I won the gold medal, and I'm going to eat. The manager, I heard her tell the manager, and he said, well, I'm not the man. Now he's got to go out. Anyway, I didn't raise no hell. They put me out. And I had to leave that restaurant in my hometown where I went to church and served in their Christianity and fought, and daddy fought in all the wars. Just won the gold medal and couldn't eat downtown. I said, something's wrong.
Know your history. Black History Month. Black Wall Street. On June 1st, 1921, the Greenwood District neighborhood of Tulsa, Oklahoma, also known as Black Wall Street in Little Africa, was bombed from the air and burned to the ground by mobs of envious whites. A model community destroyed, and a major black economic movement resoundingly diffused. The night's carnage left some 3,000 African Americans dead, 6,000 arrested, 9,000 left homeless, and 600 successful businesses lost. In today's terms, it was the equivalent of $30 million in damage. This remains the single largest massacre of African American citizens in the history of the United States. While Black Wall Street serves as a shining example of what black communities can do when they pool their economic resources, it's also a painful reminder of the terrorism the black community has suffered at the hands of white supremacy.
Chicken wings for that money, even though they was no good. But you do get something for your money. But when you put your money in the church bucket, what do you get back? Hope hope in a future after you die. And my position on that, if I have to die to experience heaven, I don't need that religion. Anyone who tells me that I should be content with accepting hell on earth, when the white man has his heaven here, and the Chinese man has his heaven here, and the Arab and East Indian has his heaven here, and they're even building their heaven in my ghetto, and you're telling me I got to die in order to experience what they are getting right now? That's a religion I don't need, because that's a religion for servitude. And so we have to put the black church to task and ask them, what are you doing with our Jesus money? Let me tell you what they're doing with your Jesus money. Every black church in America has their money in a white bank. It is the white banks that are funding the regentrification ethnic cleansing movement. So all of us go to church. We put $3 million in the church coffers every Sunday. $3 million goes to a white bank every Sunday. And guess what they do on Monday? They take $3 million of black people's white Jesus money, and they give loans to white land developers and businesses and entrepreneurs to come into the ghetto where the church is located, buy up all the property, and force grandma out on the street homeless. Now, grandma been going to that church for 30 years. Grandma been giving that church $50 every Sunday. And lo and behold, grandma had to finally face the reality that it was your Jesus money that put your ass on the street.
You old bitch ass, fake ass, black people you hate ass, make America great again. Y'all was never great ass. Attacks on a foreign country, y'all want us to pray ass, but y'all don't pray for us. Police make us to pray ass. Blame minorities, but mostly whites is on welfare ass. So in love with share ass, no free health care ass. Call Serena a man, cause all she do is win ass. Starbucks and Ugg boots, reruns of friends ass. Can't say the N-word, so you call us thugs ass. Or you call us monkey show Harambe more love ass. Unequal hating ass, love what we be making ass. Dreadlocks and rap music, cultural appropriating ass. Land of the free, yeah, right, we know you well in ass. Private prison industry, black teens selling ass. Devils in your history, but acting so bougie ass. Won't fix the past, but love making slave movies ass. All the evidence in the world, but still blame the victim ass. Yeah, I saw the tape, but he provoked the cops to kill him ass. Slam it down, the only black girl at a pool party ass. Love saying bye Felicia, never saw a Friday ass. Oh my God, why you always lying ass? Crisis actor hiring ass, white girl crying ass. Hate to hear the truth, so your face getting tight ass. Hate to hear the facts, screaming black on black crime ass. Alternate Philando killed, now you see the proof ass. Took you all this time to see that we was telling truth ass. Bush stole the election, them 8 years was a blower ass. Pokemon Go, Skynet taking over ass. Pussy ass cops probably soft as a flower ass. Make the good ones look bad, abusing all they power ass. The image of a black man instills fear in your ass. Shoot him dead while he's down, I think there's queer in your ass. Claim you killed Osama, send his body out to sea ass. Blew Michael Xavier up, but still had his ID ass. Loophole in your story ass, lying on the covers ass. Wanna hide your racism, say you don't see color ass. Won't protect the same veterans that you deploy ass. College too expensive, graduates be unemployed ass. Blasted Bill Cosby, but not Jared for raping children ass. You can see Bigfoot, but can't see white privilege ass. A cop gets killed, you want us all to take a second ass. Black man gets killed, you bring up his arrest record ass. Stole this land from one group, made another slave's ass. We do all the work while the establishment gets paid ass country.
Real problems. 196 countries in the world, and I bet you think ours is the best. Real problems. If your answer is yes, then I guess you don't regret the NPT treaty and all the nuclear tests. Real problems. You probably more focused on Trump and all his White House guests. Real problems. What's in his cabinet. But have you ever seen a real China set? Better yet, better learn to speak Mandarin because China is set. Real problems. Ready to get and grab that pussy? I mean check. Real problems. Offshore accounts and Hispaniola, but you still talking about election recounts supposed to be woke because you know a little spoken word disposed while the rest of the world is opposed. We are at war with the poor. Real problems. Lack of agriculture and clan-based thinking, modern day slavery, mass incarceration, eugenics and planned population, masterminded by Abraham Lincoln. Real problems. Just rearrange the slaves, sell them hope in a white God and they'll do all our jobs. Real problems. Philosophy or religiosity. Do as I say for I am the Lord, but don't copy me. Real problems. Religion plus mind control ain't no stop stopping me. Real problems. The world's poorest countries full of 100% believers, but in the richest countries, the most high are the achievers. Real problems. People living in caves, sex slaves, child molestation, unspiritual rituals. Is this shit even getting to you? Real problems. Demonic days, Hades and Haiti, Reaganomics since the 80s. Real problems. But y'all still all in squalor, hollering over Obamacare. But do your mama care? Real problems. More poor deaths in Syria before I'm pouring my cereal. Real problems. Famine in the motherland, but in Chicago I'm shooting at my brother, man. Real problems. The Ukraine claims their government is out of line, out of sight, out of mind. Real problems. The guns in Israel and Palestine killed 100 times more kids than Columbine. Real problems. Native Americans and pipelines. Real problems. Peace treaties I didn't write mine. It was at a time when the white man was not in his right mind. Real problems. Reparation in acres seemed like it was ages ago. Get over it like bridges over troubled water. But my people in Flint today still need clean water. Real problems. New world order is controlled by what you order at McDonald's. Dollar menu biodegradable cups fucked up. They charging me for free water. Real problems. My cell phone is waterproof, but my World Wide Web and my internet can't get wet. Real problems. Not which candidate reigns, but can you stand the acid rain? Real problems. Selling hope but ignoring climate change. Real problems. When the global economy collapses, finally with the highest status admit that not all lives matter. Real problems. When the Russians release the data, do we really care about all the hacking, or do we just want all the likes on our Facebook and Instagram status? Real problems. 800 million people go hungry in the world every day. Real problems. People being stoned to death because they're gay. Real problems. 6 million deaths in China because of air pollution, but we making that paper, so who cares about a solution? Real problems. HIV was created by man, and if they haven't told you, they about to drop a new strand that even magic can't defend. Hocus pocus, don't focus on the real problems. 20 of my brothers and sisters murdered in Somalia by a suicide bomber on any given Sunday, but we get mad because Tom Brady can't play or don't agree with Kaepernick's way of expressing his freedom of speech that the women of Mozambique never had anyway. Real problems. My family in Uganda is still starving. Real problems. The world's most mineral-rich lands, the Republic of Congo beefing with Rwanda over coltan. Real problems. That's the shit that makes your cell phone program. Real problems. We are programmed to think that we have no land. Real problems. Skull and crossbone leaders will never let us forget that they beat us. A game of chess won by the elitists. Real problems. Might is right. The winners rewrite history. Real problems. Institutional power gets stronger by the hour, while we get happy because they legalize sour. Now they taxing a plant that was already ours. Real problems. Did we go to war for business or go into business for war? So far ago, Mesopotamia, Summer versus Elam, Christianity versus Islam. For 30 years, Battle of Brentonfield, Romans versus the Persians, Serbia versus the Turkish. History making us nervous. 1679, French and the Spanish, Haitians versus Dominicans, Caucasians and the African Americans, Jewish versus the Samaritans, Hebrews versus Arabic. Got everybody scared as shit. Real problems.
I'll take the affirmative. Take the meanest, most restless nigger. Strip him of his clothes in front of the remaining male niggers, female niggers, and nigger infants. Tar and feather him. Tie each leg to a horse facing in opposite direction, set him on fire, and beat both horses until they tear him apart in front of the male, female, and nigger infants. Bullwhip and beat the remaining nigger males within an inch of their life. Do not kill them, but put the fear of God in them, for they can be useful for future breeding. Anybody know who Willie Lynch was? Anybody? Raise your hand. No one? He was a vicious slave owner in the West Indies. The slave masters in the colony of Virginia were having trouble controlling their slaves, so they sent for Mr. Lynch to teach them his methods. The word lynching came from his last name. His methods were very simple, but they were diabolical. Keep the slave physically strong, but psychologically weak and dependent on the slave master. Keep the body, take the mind. I and every other professor on this campus are here to help you to find, take back, and keep your righteous mind. Because obviously you have lost it.